Welcome back to 123 Kimchi. Spring is here, and right now is when the leeks are at their best for kimchi. They're smaller, more tender, and naturally sweeter. In Korea, this is the time of the year when you make kimchi with young garlic stems or 푼마늘. It's a vegetable that signals the arrival of spring. But here in Europe, I actually prefer using leeks. When they're young and tender like this, the texture is softer and the flavor is more rounded. So today we're making Leek Kimchi or Leekchi. It's easy, delicious, and small batch as always. And even if it's not spring where you are, you can still make this as long as you can find leeks that are small and tender like this. Let's start with the leeks. Trim off the root ends and remove any tough outer layers if needed. Then cut them into small bite-sized pieces about 1 to 1.5 centimeters or just enough for one bite. Wash them thoroughly to remove any dirt between the layers. I usually wash them around 3 times, changing the water each time. You'll notice some impurities each time you wash them. So wash them until the water runs clear. Then drain well for around 10 minutes. If your leeks are thicker, you can cut them in half after washing. In a bowl, add fish sauce and a bit of coarse sea salt. Then add the leeks. Toss gently to coat evenly. Let this sit for about 40 minutes. We lightly brine them first so they release some moisture and become flexible enough to absorb the seasoning. And give it a turn halfway through. Rather than focusing only on time, look at the texture, because the leeks should be slightly flexible but still hold their shape. Next, we prepare a simple flour slurry. Mix flour with water and whisk until smooth. Then bring it to a boil while stirring. And simmer over low heat for a couple of minutes and don't forget to stir continuously. And it also supports fermentation as the starch becomes food for the beneficial bacteria. Then turn off the heat and let it cool completely. Then add the gochugaru, Korean red chili powder, and let it bloom. It'll absorb the moisture and release its color and flavor. Now let's make the kimchi paste. Blend the apple and onion until smooth. It's going to add natural sweetness and savoriness. Then add a slice of ginger and pulse briefly just until it's finely minced. Leeks already have a strong natural allium flavor, so we don't need to add garlic here. Add this to the slurry mixture and mix everything together until you get a smooth, slightly thick paste. The leeks have softened and we keep all the brining liquid because this is where the seasoning starts. Add the kimchi paste directly to the leeks. A pro tip, use some of the leeks to get every bit of the seasoning left in the bowl for a true zero-waste cooking. Now gently toss everything together, making sure all the pieces are evenly coated. Never mash them, but just toss gently. It's very simple, but this step makes a big difference. It keeps the leeks crunchy and flavors clean even after fermentation. Pack the kimchi tightly into a container. To finish, add a little water to the mixing bowl to gather any remaining seasoning and pour it over the kimchi. This also makes sure that everything is submerged, which is important for kimchi fermentation. Kimchi develops its best flavor when it ferments slowly at lower temperatures. So we use room temperature just to start the fermentation process for about 1 to 2 days, until you notice gentle bubbles and a light tang. Then move it to the fridge where the fermentation continues more slowly. Low temperature is the key to kimchi fermentation. The flavor becomes deeper, more balanced, and more complex. As it ferments, the flavor gets deeper, more balanced, and more complex. Leek kimchi is especially nice when it's well fermented. When the leeks become more tender, still slightly crisp, but tanginess and savoriness all comes together. So this is a simple way to bring spring flavors onto your table. Try making it yourself and let me know how it turns out. And if you're curious to know another way to preserve leeks, I have a recipe for leek manongji where leeks are pickled in soy sauce. So you can find that on my channel as well. And as always, enjoy the process and happy kimchi making!